Utilize language as a tool to enhance the story that you want to tell, not to lead a weaker story, but to enhance the story you've already figured out. And have a ball with it, because language is awesome. There's a big difference between great prose and great storytelling. And today we'll discuss that. By the end of this video, you will be able to discern the difference and to use a variety of tools that are readily at your fingertips in order to make sure that your wonderful story aligns with your wonderful language. Hi, I'm Celeste Davidson, and we're here today to talk about not killing your darlings, but perhaps delaying them a bit. By that, what do I mean? Well, I can't tell you how often I get submissions for my directed writing groups from eager and aspiring novelists who are really great at using language. Their prose is absolutely stunning, yet it has very little to do with effective alignment with the story that they actually want to tell. Now, this is very common, and I have been guilty of it many times. A lot of us actually go into writing because we are good at that beautiful sentence, that beautiful paragraph, but it may not follow that we've ever finished something, especially something of a longer form that's of any value. And then we have to learn the horrible truth. First comes the story, then comes the language. A great example for you would be, for example, children's books. I have edited a great number of children's books and consulted on picture book writing and middle grade and young adult writing for a long time. And I find, especially with picture books, that a lot of my writers, when they first send something to me, think or want to write in rhyme. Well, that might be because when they were younger, a lot of the great books that they read were in rhyme. For example, Go Dog Go is by far my favorite book ever. Forget Tolstoy, forget Dostoevsky. It's P.D. Eastman. That's who I love. Okay, but the bottom line is that editors hate rhyming manuscripts for picture books because there are very few people that can do it well. It's true. What happens is that the writer, in trying to make sure they're sticking with the rhyme framework or the rhyme scheme, forces language. They force words that really shouldn't be there. They force words that don't advance a good narrative. And in doing so, they lose sight of the whole story. I've done this, and so many other people have done this. And it's critical to understand that the language does not lead the story. The story leads the story. And if the language is leading, then it's very possible that the story is suffering. So what you have to do, the first thing I suggest is to stop, check your beautiful prose at the door, and think about what your story is in its essence, the story that you really want to tell without the gorgeous and grandiose prose. Then you have to make sure, chapter by chapter, that your story, that minimum complete story, which I'll tell you about in a minute, is aligning with the language that you are producing as you create each chapter, or rather, that the language that you're producing to create each chapter is aligning to that minimum complete story. Interesting slip on my part. All right, the minimum complete story we've talked about in a lot of our videos, and I would encourage you to look at one of our YouTube videos that's specializing just in that subject. But in essence, it's a distillation of the story that you want to tell at any given time that you use to check your current work against. So Here you have your minimum complete story. It may be told in 90 seconds or less. It's really like a miniature version of every narrative detail and plot point for the story. And then you have the chapter that you've just done. Is that chapter lining up with that minimum complete story? It must. Otherwise, you're losing your way. Now, there are times when you will want to tweak that minimum complete story, but the language shouldn't be the reason. You shouldn't be trying to fit that rhyme, fit that language in a tortured way into the story that you truly want to tell. All right. So check that prose at the door and stick it in a Word document. You don't have to lose it. If you're just naturally writing beautiful prose, but somehow it's not working out, don't try to make it work. Don't try to change the story to make it work at that given time. Keep with the essence of the story that you want to tell and take that beautiful prose and stick it in one single Word doc that you're going to look at after you've completed the first draft of your story, of your novel. All right? Then you're going to find something very, very interesting happens once you're done with your first draft. You're going to take that document out and look at it and find that a lot of it isn't even relevant anymore. It may be that the plot has changed. It may be that characters or story world that you've described with such great beauty don't even exist anymore or have been changed so substantially that the wording that you chose initially, the description that you thought was absolutely bestseller quality, and may have been as a unique standalone item, no longer applies. That's what happens most frequently. So then put that away again. And you're wondering, how do I keep that story in alignment? I mentioned the minimum complete story. We also have a tool called the value triangle. And we have another tool called the continuity and value delivery sheet. Plus, we have numerous blogs on all of these subjects and numerous videos on all of these subjects. The best thing is they're all available to you absolutely free of cost. So I encourage you to look through all of the videos that we have on our YouTube channel and to go to our website and look. There are even downloadable items that you can use that will be extremely helpful in terms of aligning your story and your prose and developing characters and so forth. We have so many things for you that will help you as a writer. We've thought about this for years. And this subject of language, and language not leading, but story leading, and language then supporting the story that you want to tell. I can't tell you how important it is to do this. I probably delayed my writing career by 10 years by being so in love with my words that I let them lead the story. So don't kill your darlings, but delay them. And then once you've really hammered out a strong foundation for your story, and it might take 1 or 2 drafts to do that, then start to introduce the language again. Utilize language as a tool to enhance the story that you want to tell, not to lead a weaker story, but to enhance the story you've already figured out. And have a ball with it, because language is awesome. It's my favorite part of the writing experience. I can't tell you how much I love it. I love to figure out ways to enhance my story with the very best writing that I can, to create vivid character and story worlds and dialogue through the use of very finely tuned and artful language. But the bottom line is this: writing a novel is a balancing act between story and story structure and language, between creativity and discipline. If you don't have an equal amount of creativity and discipline, you will never complete a novel. I want you to complete successful. That's why we've devoted so many system and methodology that videos, you will find and a cohesiveness. It's not like, well, like so many sites do, like so many people who promise that you can write a best-selling novel do. Now, we've thought about this very carefully. We're academics, we're successful authors, we're award-winning authors here at Bardsy. We want you to succeed what it's like. I look forward to seeing you. Check out our website, bardsy.com. If you have any questions, send them to me at Celeste@Bardsy. And I hope you'll watch more of our videos. Have a
Bardsy delivers the tools, guidance, and support you need to produce compelling novels. Our well-researched and thoroughly tested approach includes our minimum complete story, a 90-second exercise that keeps your writing on track while fueling creativity, Bardsy Publishability Index, a 23-dimension checklist that offers attainable goals and provides actionable feedback, and our brand new comprehensive character developer that helps you construct unforgettable characters. Come see for yourself at Bardsy.com today. Try a workshop or enter our first chapter contest. Then, when you're ready, Elite Membership delivers writing groups, personal coaching, and a curated community. With Bardsy, your work will captivate everyone, from agents to publishers, and, most importantly, your readers.